Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Ladies with Joe DePinto, a driver of a Mercedes. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First off, it's free. Who doesn't like free? There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Talk about convenient, ladies and gentlemen. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more platforms beyond your wildest imaginations, baby. And you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenerships. It's everything you need to make in a podcast in one place. So if you will, baby, please download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you.
Yeah, before you do that, Priscilla has been so patient tonight. She's here. She's with us. She came up earlier but dropped down, and she came back up again. She had a specific question. Priscilla, I'm so sorry that it took so long for you to even get a word out up here. That's my fault. I apologize.
That's fine. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Do y'all know that video that was on YouTube where they was having a conversation and about the mother, Candace, was saying something about the Edmund Boswell case?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the father who brought it up. He said that people were comparing it to the Boswell case, and he said whatever that means. I thought that was very interesting that it was brought up. Yeah.
Okay. What are y'all's thoughts about that?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on the latest edition of Baptized Fire with Brother Martin. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, from everybody that's listening to this, that I'm greatly appreciative that you're taking time out of your busy lives to hear what this stuttering fool's got to say. You know, whether you want to call me your friend, your enemy, whether you want to call me the king of stutter style, a podcasting legend, or whatever sarcastic remark you want to make. It doesn't matter. The fact you're here tells me that I'm affecting you in one way, shape, or form. So I hope and pray, even the ones that are here that have negative thoughts about me, that through my words, that I can hopefully inspire you to live a better life, and that you can realize that, there's more to life than just being negative and tearing others down.
Which I did a little bit of research, because I have a few friends that I know.
I'm a broken person.
Okay, so here we go. Mr. 2 offenses found for Robert Francois. Robert Philip Francois, born. Weight not available. That's probably because the fucking scale couldn't. The fucking scale wasn't strong enough to carry his fat ass.
There's more to life than just being negative and tearing others down.
Now, once again, there's a shit ton of stuff that got expunged
right off his record. And there's certain things that I'm not going to show that I have access to. So this is a really light version of what I have. So, Mr. Dolphin Flogger, you want to continue to run your mouth and tell me why I'm such a piece of garbage, and because you're the morality police, here you go, buddy. Wait, hold on. State of criminal. This was and you had to leave the state because you were so embarrassed of the fact that you. So you guys see the case number right here. You guys can look it up yourself. You can look up the case code. Oh, he was found guilty for it. And I'm going to let you know this right now. Rob, this is your last opportunity. And if you want to continue, we can continue, because what I just showed was a mild version of what I have access to. And I have access to a whole bunch of people. So I'm going to tell you this right now. Everybody out there, and which I'm going to be blunt with you. If you guys don't have anything within your past that you don't want brought up, I would not advise you running your mouth.
Anything you want to say before we head off tonight, Mr. Richie?
Dude, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come back on and talk shop with you. Dude, this is so therapeutic to just sit back and hang out with a buddy of mine. We're across the country from each other and get to do this again. given all the past bullshit, it's just nice to get on here
Absolutely.
and just be brothers and talk what we love, man. Wrestling.
That's
And
all
that's
it's
what it's all
about.
about. And I hope everybody's enjoying the current wrestling product. It sucked to have the passion sucked out of me for a little bit, but
Yep.
I got the feeling, a warm feeling, that I'm back with the current events that are going on. And I'm looking forward to each and every week doing this show with you. So it's going to be fun. I thank you for the opportunity, and I appreciate it very much.
Hey, man, I'm so glad when you told me. I know you've had a lot going on, and I've been crazy busy at work too. So when you told me, it's like, man, I'm hyped up. I'm ready to. I want to get this going. I want to get back into it. And you said it to me last week when you shot me that message, and I was like, let's do it, buddy. Let's set it up. Let's get it going here. We all got a lot going on in life, and it's great that we can put this time, every week, and maybe more than once a week we'll be able to get in the near future. It's we'll get some more stuff out there. We'll sprinkle it in, and we're really glad to have you back, man. You're always a great guy and a talented guy, and we're lucky to have you around here. And I think
Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think as everybody comes out and slowly checks this page out that we got going on over here, you guys are going to have a lot of fun with us, and this is a fun place for all wrestling fans. So.
Well, I want to make another a comment about the visual that they had. This is my opinion about the whole thing. At the end, where he had got up there, and I am Pentecostal, and I believe in God and Jesus. They're all three are one. And my opinion is the way he acted the whole time he was up there was not fruitful.
Priscilla, will you just make sure your mic is uncovered all the way? I think you might have something. There you go.
Is it better now?
So much better. It was just a little muffled. Go ahead. Say what you have to say.
Well, he just the way he was dressed and the way he was, his body language and everything. You know them by their fruits, the Bible says. And that is not of God.
God, this Triple H one was must have been a lot of.
This one's really long, and I think from memory in my email I said to you, Mike, I didn't know when to stop recording because he's such a buffoon. So yeah, we'll see how long we can put up with it.
Event that I was so happy to see, man.
Oh, I bet, man. That must have been a cool one. I got one more you reminded me of when you're talking about you and your buddies. We saw him when we were younger, too, when it was him and Shawn Michaels and Chyna and DX. And they were the big heels at this point here. This was at the Austin time frame when they were going into the Austin match and everything. So they were the big heels. They were getting booed out of the building everywhere. Austin was the over thing. In fact, I think Triple H took Austin on actually in the main event that night. Shawn didn't wrestle it. And it was at a house show. And my buddy loves Steve Austin. My buddy Mike, I don't know if he was, man, I wish he was here right now. He could tell the story. It was hilarious. And he loved Steve Austin, man. And he hated Shawn Michaels at the time and hated anybody that was going against Steve Austin. I was a Bret Hart guy more. So we were always going back and forth with each other about Bret and Steve. Their feud.
The megalomaniac Bret Hart?
You just call Bret Hart a megalomaniac? That's a hell of a way for a fan to speak about someone, for God's sake.
Now that I remember what this is, listen, you can hear him making this story up as he goes along.
Yeah.
Just listen to it.
And we were actually, I think, in the second row at this point. When I go to events, I go all out, man. I get the best tickets. Yeah, I don't want to sit in the nosebleeds.
Time to make up his
when
next
we go to WrestleMania next year, I'm not saying we're going to be able to sit front row because, Lord knows how expensive that is. But I know me and you have talked about it because wherever WrestleMania is going to be next year, we're going to the event. We're going to do the whole week. We're going to spend the bucks on it and save our money because that's what we do. That's what we've been talking about it for a long time. So I want to sit as close as I can afford to. If I can afford it, I'm going to pay for it. I pay for everything in life in cash. I work hard like you do and everybody else does out there. I want to sit the best spot when I go to an event. It was like that when I was a kid too. So we were maybe 14, 15, 16, maybe 16 tops. I'm thinking more like 14-ish, 15. And we were in the second row and my buddy was pissed at Michaels going against Austin. And he
said it's going into WrestleMania with Austin versus Michaels. That's 98, right?
Yeah.
What year were you born, John?
Yeah.
You know, you should know your fucking age. And if it's such a big deal, how do you not remember how old you were? 14, 15, 16? He's making it up.
He's starting to sound like John Lovett's I forget what the skit was called, like the habitual liar or the compulsive liar.
Compulsive liar, yeah.
And he's we went to the WWE. That's right. See, and I sat in the second row. That's the ticket.
Yeah. It's like taunting at Sean, and Sean at this point was a real dick as a human being, and he loved to egg on the crowd, and he spit at my friend, and he spit right on him, actually. Wow. So my buddy ended up he had a cup full of soda.
Did you really think it was just guys that like to discuss and analyze wrestling?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you there's a new chick in town. My name is Sunny Salem.
I'm about to skip those ads, Mike, in the recording.
That's not
insane. Well, are we?
Do to people. Yeah. And he took the cup full of soda and he threw it right at Sean and doused him with it. And Triple H ended up jumping down to the thing, and then Sean was laughing about it. And then he just goes like how arrogant Sean was back in the day, because that's what he would do to people. Yeah. There's a story about him doing it in Rhode Island where he got the fans so mad at him. And he wouldn't stop that they ended up throwing batteries and shit at him, and they had to stop the event, and they had to cancel the rest of the event.
Oh, that was right before WrestleMania, actually, when he was in.
Wasn't that the workout thing in Boston? The public workout they had.
Yeah, there was a few, but that's the one where he got hit with a battery for sure. Yeah,
I believe it was in New York, actually. To be honest with you,
it was in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, Rhode Island, because he got hit with a 9-volt battery right in the face.
Yep. No, I don't think it was a 9-volt. It was like a C or a D. Those are the really thick ones.
And he wouldn't come back out.
Yeah, he wouldn't come back out. Actually, he did end up going back out, but he was saying he wasn't going to. He was very pissed off. Yeah, I got the documentary on that.
Event up. If they didn't get it out, he held the event up for a long time, I guess, right? And I guess the crowd was about ready to riot.
Yeah, they begged him to come back out, and he finally did. Not the crowd, but the officials there.
Wait,
was it?
Wait a minute, dude. That was in Times Square, wasn't it? I think they fucked that up. The Mike Tyson wasn't in Boston. All right, maybe he's right.
Yeah, because I think it was 14 was in Boston.
Yeah.
So I think it was in Boston. But yeah, Richie's actually just dropped the facts on the situation where John's telling his story. Now, John finishes his story here. Wow.
Right before Austin?
Yeah, it was literally the night before.
Okay, so this is
literally
WrestleMania
Access.
Okay, so this is
literally no, it wasn't the night before. It was in the daytime. And okay.
Right on the road to WrestleMania at the same time frame. So this was probably a few weeks after this event that I was talking about, because this was the road to WrestleMania event that they were doing here. And like I said, it was Austin was in the main event. He didn't go against Sean. He went against Triple H, I remember, but they were at ringside with him. And so yeah, that was a few weeks after. A good pickup on that. I forgot about that one. That's how Sean was at the time, though. And then Triple H, I'll never forget, jumped down from the ring, and Sean's laughing about it. And he just goes, security. And he points right at him and he goes, get him the fuck out of here. And then the crowd just like starts booing at him because they saw what he did. He spit. Like, he didn't just like give a light spit. He hawked a fucking loogie on him.
Yeah.
And Buddy ended up getting ejected out of the building, which was funny.
Damn.
And
That's
yeah,
crazy.
he got ejected. Yeah, he got ejected out of the building. It was the main event. So he got kicked out for that. And the crowd was fucking booing him out. And Triple H I remember him coming right down there looking at us too. I was about to say, they kicked me out. I didn't do shit, man. I was like, I don't want to get, I stayed out of it at that point. You're a kid, but I vividly remember that. So I've seen a lot of monumental things with Triple H. Those is good ideas with kind of bringing up some Triple H stories, because I kind of forgot some of them until we were talking about them.
Yeah, no, he just gave you time to make up your next part of your story.
Yeah. And I don't know what everyone else's opinion on it is, but if you're with a buddy at a show and he gets kicked out, you should probably go too. Like, I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah. No, man, just wait outside for me.
Yeah.
I won't be long.
Next 2 hours, just hang.
No, this must be the one where I didn't know where to stop recording. Yeah.
became Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and then later Triple H. So that was the transitions from character to character. He's been a few different characters. I didn't know that.
He had a very legendary trainer too. For those who don't know, he had Killer Kowalski, and Killer Kowalski's a WWE Hall of Famer. Was a very big name in the wrestling business for many, many years. You know, icon of the business. A lot of the younger people don't know him, or people that aren't wrestling historians, or people that know it like we do. You know, maybe they're avid fans, but not like, because I'd like to say I think we're pretty much wrestling historians in a lot of ways. Most avid.
Oh, come on, dude.
Can you imagine if someone who knew so little about something else called themselves a historian? Like, I'm an American historian, and you wouldn't know which side won in the Civil War, or who succeeded President Kennedy, or who the president is even now. That's the equivalent.
Aspects of wrestling. I'm not saying, we're to the level of a guy like a Bill Apter or Jim Cornette or those guys. I mean, they're at a whole other level of knowledge. Jim Ross.
They've also have about 30, 40 years on us too in age.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, those guys are real historians of the business. But I'd like to say I think that we know a lot about a lot of things. And Killer Kowalski was around for a long.
Kowalski.
I mean, he was a huge name that a lot of people don't know nowadays, which is really sad because that's how good he was. And Triple H actually met Chyna. That's where he met Joni Lawler. How do they say her last name? Lawler. Yeah, Lawler. So Joni, who
I'm a ring historian, but I can't pronounce Joni Lauer. It was. Come on, dude.
We'll just call Chyna for the rest of the show when we talk about her. And I'm sure a lot of people, if not everybody listening, remembers Chyna. If you don't, go look her career up.
Come on, dude. Did he just say that for real?
Bet your ass he did.
Who is listening to this that doesn't know Chyna?
Exactly.
And I'm sure a lot of people, if not everybody listening, remembers Chyna. If you don't, go look her career up. Legendary figure. Just
ninth wonder of the world, baby.
Yeah, seriously. I'm always been a Chyna fan, and I always will be. It breaks my heart at the end of her life. But that's where she met Triple H. They met while training over there, and they became boyfriend and girlfriend and hit the road together. And, we're doing their thing. And even though while she wasn't in with him there, he was always kind of like they had mentioned her from after they left Killer Kowalski's school. Because I've heard him mention this in interviews about Killer Kowalski, is that Killer Kowalski was a firm believer that you have to earn it on your own. Like, I'm not going to call people for you. Like, if they ask me, about you, then I'll tell them what I really feel like about you. So if you want my recommendation, if they're going to ask me, I'm going to tell them, but you're going to do it on your own, like you should do. So he didn't manage them. He didn't take their money. He didn't do any of that stuff. That's what I always loved about the story you tell about Killer Kowalski. And a lot of people don't know this about Triple H, but he became kind of like the real life manager for his girlfriend, Chyna. He handled all of her business dealings. He talked for her everywhere. He
got her the fucking job with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, got her the job with them. I mean, he got her in there, and a lot of people have said it about him that at that point in time and for the time they was dating with them, they actually felt very bad for her because she never had a voice with him, is what a lot of people have stated throughout the years, that he was very controlling with her in a lot of ways. I'm not saying in an abusive way in any way, but he was her voice, and that she did not have a voice for many, many years till after they broke up because of the fact of the relationship they had. And he got a good deal with WCW right off the bat. He's talked openly about it before. They did not.
I just didn't know when to stop because it's unbelievable. Like, how much does he say? I've heard people say.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be informing people. That's what a podcast is supposed to be. You've either got to be funny or informative, or just generally entertaining. Doesn't necessarily have to be funny, but that's none of it.
It's like a tornado of misinformation. It's so confusing. You start here, and then he says something, and the wind blows that way, and then it's coming back. Like I started daydreaming because I couldn't follow what he was saying. Like I just lost it.
Yeah.
Being a scumbag to somebody that doesn't deserve it. You don't want to be affiliated with me. I don't want you to be affiliated with me in the first place. But in the same way, by all means, man. I'm not going to get mad at that, man. I respect that. That's your choice. Vince and these guys and their beef throughout all the years, that's on them, man. They've had a back and forth. He can't go and cry about how they've treated him. And then when he goes on his show, and this is his selling point to one of his shows that he says is the most important show every week, and telling people not to do this and to be this way and to be this way. And I do a motivational show too. And I'm the first one to admit, and my motivational show gets a lot of listens by people. And I'm the first one to say in it, I need to work on this, and this is why I'm talking about it, and these are the things I'm trying to do too. Yep. Vince isn't doing those things, man. He's not doing it. He's preaching like he's holier than thou to people. And you know what? And then he'll say later on, I'm the first one, bro, to admit on my show that I'm not perfect, bro, and I'm not perfect, bro, and I say this all the time. But yes, man, you're also taking the context of Jesus Christ and God and Christianity, and you're using it out of context for your own profit, for your own people, and you're taking it to your people who are
your own profit. That's Life is a free show. There's no profit off that.
That's good. This is like the Genesis biblical reference of his problems with Vince. Like it's starting. It's bubbling right now. It's almost to a boil.
Yeah.
And because we've heard similar language before when he talks about him, but this is like the very beginning.
This was I'm on this show, and I got to be honest, I egged him onto this. I got him to go nuts on Vince Russo. So yeah.
Listeners and your disciples, and this is why I had a big problem with it. Don't say you're a soldier of God, man, and you're doing these things when God is telling you to do the complete opposite, and God recognizes your faults and mistakes as human beings. I am one of the most faulting people in this world, as I tell on the show, and I'm going to be doing a tell-all interview in the next month actually on this, and I'm going to open up even more to people.
Did he do that show?
It might have been the Friendly Invitation to Vince Russo podcast, or it could be something else on Road to Redemption. I don't know.
And I do motivational.
Was it a sit down like Brother Martin and him have been doing with people?
Yeah, sit down.
Brother Martin doesn't know what a sit down is, but anyway.
Speaking everywhere to other people, and I tell these same stories in front of thousands of people that hear my message, and I tell them about my faults and mistakes that many of you guys haven't even heard, and I have no problem with sharing it because I'm a human being and I admit my faults. This guy doesn't want to admit it, and when I'm talking to people that want to listen to my message that are coming out to hear it, or to hear Rad Turtles Wrestling if I'm doing a show on there, or if Rob's doing his show, or if Dean's doing his show, or any of us are doing them, they're listening to your message. They're your listeners. They're people that want to listen to you and your advice, and his people are very, very, very obsessed with what he says and look at him as like a freaking messiah of knowledge, man. And he's got a lot of great qualities to him, but let me tell you, man, if you guys
compliment sandwich
listening to his religious context and advice from somebody that has spent time in seminary and is a licensed fucking minister, excuse me, God, for saying the F word when calling myself a minister, and I don't practice and I don't practice 100% of the time. I know, but this is once again, right? I'm admitting it right here and saying I'm at fault because it gets me hot with it. Don't use God in your context of what you're saying, that you're saying a soldier of God. When right in Peter, it's telling you, don't act evil with evil, motherfucker. Listen, Vince, I'm going to hit you with it. Don't fucking act evil, bro. And I said it eloquently the other night. It gets me going, bro.
God, I have got to make some blurps for Russo's Twitch. Out of this,
and I would just like to say that while John claims to have spent time in seminary, I'm of the opinion he spent time in seminary.
When I'm going to get up there and go give a sermon, okay, and I've done large services, I've done small services, I've done them all. This is a fact, this is a shoot, and you know what? I still learn. I'm not as well versed in my Bible right now as I should be as a Christian and somebody that is practicing as a Christian and has done ministry for years. I'm not, and I'm the first one to admit it. I am too busy and too many things going on, and I don't prioritize my life the way I should sometimes. And Christianity to me is someone I should. But I do know one thing, and I do know that the lessons that you're listening on this show from this guy that's saying what he's saying, he's giving you some nice things on that's life. But if you're believing to go act like this guy, you're wrong, man. Because the way that he's acting is wrong. And he does have a good heart to him. And I said it full-fledged on that show, and I mean it. I looked up to Vince, man, in many ways. Vince was – sometimes when you meet people that are your heroes, and Jeff Lane says it's people that Vince has helped that have trashed him afterwards to get over, bro, that's not even one iota of it. I've defended him. I could have done interviews with people that are much freaking larger than Vince ever was, that he battles with, that he's put on these t-shirts, just to throw this out there, when I was sitting over there and drinking the Kool-Aid like so many of these people were all the time. All right. I could have had them all on my show, bro. That's the truth. That's a shoot. I don't ever say that out loud. I didn't have them on, and I didn't pursue it because I didn't like the way that they had acted towards you. And you don't owe me anything for doing that. It's because I liked what you do, and you have turned me off as a person so much.
Was he talking about Jarrett?
Listen, listen. That's a big jumbled mess also. So he's saying, and let's just assume he means like Bischoff, Pritchard, Jarrett, whatever. So he won't have them on because he didn't pursue it. So he's suggesting that Bischoff, Pritchard, Jarrett, whoever, heard of Wrestling with Reality and thought it was so great that they emailed him asking to come on. That's where he just went with it. Okay.
He has, I'm pretty sure he has, I've heard it. He said that Cornette refused to do his podcast because he had Priscilla. No, it wasn't. No, Cornette blocked him because he had Priscilla Kelly on his podcast.
Oh, my God.
And Cornette doesn't know.
That's why they say sometimes in life, don't meet the people you look up to and that you think are great, because they'll let you down. And he was wonderful to me, and Jeff Maxson, and it did our show, and it was such an honor and a privilege for me. But when I look more into it, sometimes when you take the hero worship out of things is where you see the true colors of somebody and what you think is good or not. And I do think Vince has a great heart. I think he's so misguided. I think he's so greedy, and he rips you people off for money over and over. And as soon as the money is drying out for you folks, if you ain't giving him cheers and bits, man, he ain't going to be around, folks. I'm telling you.
Yep.
So, I mean, the first thing, so these guys, Wangland and Martin, they always say, come on our show and talk to us, to all of us. Come on. If I were to do that, all right, the first question would be, Martin, tell me about your cancer. But after that, I would honestly ask, what did Vince Russo ever fucking do to you guys? Like, this is what's puzzled me the whole way along. And you want to talk about a con man and a scam artist. Like, Joe, you've talked about him taking your entire platform, like your entire business model, for creative control.
Yeah.
He charged the guy $75 just like you were. He didn't have Conan to promote the show on.
No,
like,
he didn't have anything.
There's no reason that he should have been charging that money. It's just the amount it costs to have your feed on the network. Like, you want to talk about ripping people off and not giving them what you promised. That's what he did. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Like, at the time, I had my reasons for doing Castrating the Bros, and unfortunately, the person that I did it for has let me down in recent times. But Vince, there's things about Vince where he can be a hypocrite and all these different things, but I was never fuck Vince Russo. I hate Vince Russo. Like, it was for me just to make fun of some of the things, that he says on Castrating the Marks, whatever. But to have this visceral just hatred for the man, but for what? I don't understand what.
Yeah. It's been strange since the beginning. And like Jeff kind of said on this show, Jeff Lane, and I've said too, it's like, how's he ripping you off? You pay $4 a month for endless audio and video content. That's what you're paying for him to deliver, and that's what he delivers. So what am I missing? What part of that am I missing?
If I jumped out of it, you had continued it with Vince, John.
Yeah, so I was talking, and I did a show, and as it came out on Friday, you guys can check it out. It said the friendly message to Vince, and I'll say this whole show was friendly. There was nothing negative put in there towards him. Rob, you can attest to that. You've heard it. A lot of other people have too. I've gotten no heat from the brand. The brand's been very kind to me so far. I'm saying it right now, which means that somebody will come at me, I'm sure, but it's something. But no, I've heard nothing negative from anybody. My Twitter followers have increased, if even that, and I got a bazillion nice messages from people that said I'm absolutely right for what I said. It's about That's Life. If you've ever heard the show, it shows about Christianity and God. And, for anybody, I always listen to it, to pull the onion back a little bit. I am a minister part-time, so I do ministry. I have been to seminary and gone to religious education for years. So I do know the Bible very well. I've done outreach, street outreach. I've performed so many sermons, you name it. I've done a lot of that stuff in there. So I listen to it. I like the show a lot of times. All he talks about on the show is practicing what you preach, taking people when they're mean and they're nasty and turning a blind eye to them and being better than them. If he does something wrong as a person, as a Christian, we need to call each other out, and I'm just paraphrasing stuff here. And that's what I did, because these paintings are mean, man. Like, they're mean and nasty things. And his response is always about, they were treated me like crap. They were awful to me. And I get it. I do, man. It sucks. I don't like Matt Kuhn at all, as is evident by this show. I think the guy's a jerk. And we've all admitted that we've done some wrong in there, and we're men, and we've admitted it as men that, hey, we took things a little too far a couple of times, and it's something we all need to work on as people, is to not be so reaction based to everybody. And we're working. I'll make the same mistake again. I'll be the entertainer and me talking about Tony Khan, calling him a doofus or a goof or a mark for it. But this guy's sitting over there, man, making paintings. And I'm telling you, that people that are buying them, and I know Mike Durbin bought one, and I love Mike, and I'm not knocking Mike or any of the guys out there. I think Mike's tremendous, and all those guys, I think they're awesome. You're just feeding money into this con man's pocket, man, because let me tell you, Vince is a con man. He's a con man of the first order. He knows how to bring people in.
Hold on. Don't step over that. I gotta clip that for Vince.
His pocket, man. Because let me tell you, Vince is a con man. He's a con man of the first order. He knows how to bring people in to make people think that he cares about them. And Vince has great qualities to him. He's a worker, man, for everybody that's buying these paintings. And you know what? You're enabling him to do these things because he's making thousands of dollars to these people. I mean, Isn't there one guy like Troy, nice guy, man? I'm not knocking Troy, man. I've seen him on the streams there. Troy's a nice guy. I don't know what's the deal with it, man. Like, Troy sits on there all day long and just, I got this Troy Russo parody that's always sending these funny things out. But Troy sits on there like all day, man. And that's their business. That's their money. Vince has a following of people that listen to what he says like it's the Holy Grail. You won't talk about wanting to be a Christian and a good Christian, my friend. What message are you setting when you're doing this? That,
man, like, it just goes on and on, like the depths of that lunacy. Like, it's okay to verbally, bash Eric or Bruce or whoever. That he never had a problem with that. But once you make a ridiculous painting, oh man, that's crossing the line. Like, I wonder if he realizes how fucking insane that whole thing was, and if he looks back after a couple of years and goes, man, I fucked up with that thing. Why was I so pissed? Furthermore, real quick, and we've talked about different people in their different state of minds when they record and states of mind when they record and stuff. These last few clips, John is speaking very animated, very fast, very loud. It must have been a different sort of day for him.
Yeah, they were played out of order because that last clip was the beginning of that rant, because I had to cut it down into 3 parts so that I could email it. He, like I said, I egged him on and got him going, got him rolling, and he went a good 9-10 minutes and just kept getting more fired up as you went along. Like, it. I do remember sitting there, and just when he said about the paintings and that, I honestly did have a flashback to being like, why are these guys so upset about a painting? Like, I don't get it. I really don't. But yeah,
like, even you say, oh, someone's in the wrestling bubble or whatever. Well, if we're in the Get My Go bubble, because we know his style, and we listen to multiple shows and done the parody of it and all that there, man. So I think even us, we don't realize how fucking insane that situation was and sounds. And it would take someone who doesn't know anyone to listen to it and really understand it. Because for us, that's just John. He's been doing that. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy to rip and tear at someone just because of a painting. It's fucked up, man. And out of nowhere, just because of that, he's a con man, and dude, you're an asshole. You're a fucking asshole.
He let him come on
what
his
message
show.
are you setting when you're doing this? That everything you can just go up and be that way and do that? Yeah, you hate them. They were mean to you. I bet you did some shit to them too. It goes around both ways for everybody. But does evil constitute evil was what I had said. And he wants to be, all high and mighty, like because they did wrong, that he has the right to do it then. He's picking and choosing his Christianity is what I had said to him. And there is basically is what I said, paraphrasing it. And he said that the wrestling business, he's always said it is dirty. It's the devil's playground, all that stuff. And that, he's a soldier of God is what I saw. That he's going to call the devil out. Well, Peter 3:9 states that evil doesn't constitute evil. Okay. Right in there, man. Go look it up for yourself. You could find it in a million other different parts of the Bible. Go look in Corinthians, for one, is another great one. I mean, I could have pinpointed 100 at it. Peter 3:9 states that evil doesn't constitute evil. In the contrary, people, when they act evil, the best thing to do is to kill them with goodness. Is basically, I'm paraphrasing it here a little bit. Yeah. To kill them with goodness. That's what the Lord wants you to do, is to do that. So he, did his thing with the temple. I'm not even going to get into that religious context of that bullshit that he was talking, later on in the night, because it was wrong once again. And I don't know what point he was trying to make, but it was ridiculous. I knew they were going to go on Twitch later, man. And here I am. I'm on Rob's stream because I'm enjoying myself on Rob's stream here. And talking with the guys. Mike. I think you had Mike in there and Jeff.
What he's about to do is once again is so hard to follow, and he's just starting to build. But once again, the delusions of I knew that Vince was going to talk about me. I knew that this was going to go on. Like who do you think you are? But no, try and follow this. This is phenomenal.
Couple other guys. We were having fun, man. And then I get like 3 messages from people. Hey, go on Russo's stream. I don't even subscribe to it, so somebody gave me their login anymore. So, I still mail Wrestling with Reality one. I had to go back and reactivate it, for that one here for Twitch. But I didn't have the right to go in and see the rest of it later on or something. But I got in there for a second to go watch it later on, the whole thing, with everything. But I got my Wrestling with Reality thing. I went in there under my name, under his feed there. And here he is. They're talking shit about me, man. Just bashing on the whole thing like I was some kind of asshole for doing it in their own way. He was rambling for like 15 minutes about this painting thing and how people are losing.
He was rambling. Holy shit.
Just to follow that, like I tried to follow that. So someone gave him his login details because he wasn't subscribed to Vince. So they gave him their login details, but then he had to reactivate Wrestling with Reality. And then he went in there under his own name, and you cannot follow it. Like oh my God.
No, there was no point to including that. Someone else gave me their because he's trying to make it sound like he doesn't subscribe. That's all.
Yeah.
Track it. So somebody told me, and Jeff Lane likes to make digs about me all the time, dude. And it's like, he sits down there and wants to put out like in the stream, oh, this is the guy you got over and you brought on the show and you got over with him, blah, blah, whatever the hell he was saying there.
He's just pissed that you left Feeney. That's all. He's been pissed ever since you left Creative Control.
Why would Jeff Lane be pissed that John left Creative Control?
That's it's madness there. Hello, Rob.
Come on, Rob.
I know you were trying to be on the team and all that, but no, that would have no effect on Jeff Lane whatsoever, which you probably realized by now, and you might have been listening to John back then and didn't know.
Why, dude?
He's not even part of it.
I know. Joe and I are friends, man. I just did Joe's show a couple weeks ago.
But him and Conan fucking tried to bury you for leaving the network?
Yeah, they did, and I just laugh at it, bro. Yeah, Conan does it all the time.
No, Conan does not do it all the time. Come on, dude.
Laugh at it, man. Right. It's like, oh, you're not going to go farther there on the show. Come on, bro. I'm not even sitting there and they got dropped from Westwood 1 for his show, so that doesn't really say too much for them, man.
Really? Conan got dropped from Westwood 1. It says a lot about them. What the fuck are you doing? How can you trash the Conan podcast? That's how that's how anyone has ever heard of him.
Yeah. And nobody got dropped, by the way. It's just a Jericho Network contract ran out.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Not that I need to defend the show. I mean, it's better off now than it's ever been, really, as far as being on Spreaker and all.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been excruciating to go through all these clips, but it's all worth it.
Do it.
We hope you enjoyed it. We are at the closer now. When Dean sent me this, I don't know if you told me it was the greatest clip ever, or if I decided that after I heard it, but it definitely is the best clip I've ever heard from John.
Yeah.
Any brand member that listens to Castrating the Marks, there's a story that Dave Meltzer told about how he got recognized in a Hot Topic by the cashier, and it just became a huge funny bit on Castrating the Marks. I don't know if John heard that or not, and that's where he got the genesis for this story, but it's kind of similar, so enjoy this. So this is from February of 2019.
Yeah. And just for context, it's Rad Rob, Jeff Johnson, and Jeff Maxon. Rad Rob and Jeff Johnson have just signed on. Fuck, listen to me talking like John. They've just signed on to Reality Check. So this is John telling them what's in store for them as well, just for context.
What was the date on that? February
2019. Yep.
February 2019. He was just discussing leaving creative control, and I'm sorry, I just have to listen to it. I don't how would anyone know who he was at that point? How would anyone know what he looks like?
Yeah. All the guys. I was in Pennsylvania. Okay, so I was in Philadelphia. I'll tell you a funny story when you don't think that people recognize us from our shows. And this was it was weird because I'm like, what the fuck does anybody want to would recognize me out of the blue? I'm going to take a leak in the bathroom, and I was at my daughter's competition out there in Philly. You know the story, right, Jeff?
No, I've never heard this before.
You never heard this one? Oh my God, I can't believe it.
No, I've never heard.
My God.
Now, anyone that's heard the Meltzer clip, I got to get this from Jeff Lane somehow. But Meltzer does the same. Well, no. Meltzer does that when he references the Dennis Miller story.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you never heard the Dennis Miller story?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I told you this. No, it was weird because I was like, that's surreal. Anybody wanted to talk to me and recognize me like that. So I'm in Philly. I'm at my daughter's competition, and I'm going to take a leak in the bathroom. I go and I come out, and this guy's waiting out there for me. He's like, "Hey, I know you," and I said, "I don't fucking know you." And I didn't say it like that. That's what I'm thinking. I was like, I said, "Well, I don't know who you are, man." I said, "What's your name?" And he tells me his name, and I was like, I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, I never met you before. He's like, "No, I know you." He's like, "You're from that wrestling show, the Wrestling with Reality show. I've seen your YouTube stuff." He's like, "Man, it's so cool to meet you." I was like, "Okay." Wow. So people will recognize you guys now. They're going to know about you. I'm promising because.
Did you get a handshake or a fist bump?
I gave him a fist bump, and I had a little kid actually when I was over. I was at a hockey game for a number 2. I'm going to say I was at a thing, and then
for a number 2, I'm going to say,
what the hell?
Kids love wrestling and stuff. So I was at a hockey game up here, and this little kid yelled out to me. He goes, "Hey, John!" And I didn't think anybody was calling me. I thought they were calling somebody else. He's like, "Hey, Wrestling with Reality," and I turn around, and the little kid looks at me. Now I sound like a douchebag like Meltzer when people are looking to take a picture with him here, but man, it was just to prove my point, with you guys, that people will recognize you guys because you got talent, man. They will recognize you out there. The interaction is going to be so much fun, I think, with everybody, and I'm really excited.
We can't wait, dude. We're chomping.
Come on, man! A little kid recognized him.
He said that he asked the first kid's name. And he didn't mention the name, but I know it's a Yuvraj Singh was the name. No, I went for an Indian name, guys. Come on, give me something here.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah. I mean, that's a perfect ending. That's crazy. And also, if this was a real story, it really turns out well if one person recognizes you and you're completely standoffish and douchey to that person. John, I'm a big fan of Wrestling with Reality. Whatever there, man. Why wouldn't you? Oh, thank you. Shake hand. Let's talk for a couple minutes. That's how you make a good impression on people. Yeah. But obviously, I mean,
two made up stories, completely made up.
Isn't that embarrassing?
Phenomenal. I would believe that now someone would yell out and go, "Wingaling."
Yeah.
Wingaling from Get My Go. I believe that.
He's had way more exposure on 50 episodes of Get My Go than he ever had on anything that he's ever done previously. I believe it now. If someone went to a Walmart in South Carolina, that somebody may recognize the guy that's pushing the carts in the parking lot. But in February of 2019, come on, John, stop.
Can you imagine if John goes to like an indie show or something nearby and he's walking, like sashaying as he would probably do through the people there, and someone like, "Hey, get my go" or something. Now, would he either be like really pissed? Would he talk shit back to the guy, or would he kind of feel good that he got recognized? Do you think?
I think he'd feel good that he got recognized for sure. Yeah,
man, dude. Okay, so that was just a combo of a bunch of different stuff. So it wasn't our usual linear narrative or whatever. But there was there's some stuff in there where it's like, dude, aren't you embarrassed? Aren't you fucking embarrassed? Like all the lunacy over the painting, like everything from there. Like this was like the catalyst of him being, going to where he is now. Just that, and Vampiro and Severn failing, of course. But just because a show doesn't work out doesn't mean people are going to start hating you and cut you off. People started hating you and cut you off because of things like that with Vince. And then on and on and on. But that was the first one, and it was all because of a fucking painting. A painting that he has nothing to do with and no personal relationship with the people referenced. And even if he did, because I have a personal relationship with everyone referenced, it didn't bother me. It probably doesn't bother them. Why does it bother you?
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't remember, it was a painting of Pritchard, Bischoff, and Heyman.
Oh, I don't have a relationship with Heyman. Never mind.
Yeah. So yeah, John.
Oh, you're from Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're practically neighbors.
You may have seen him in the bathroom when you were taking a piss.
Yes. Oh my lord!
You may have given him a fist bump.
Did he say Joe Feeney, creative control? I recognize you.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh fuck! I was gonna say something. Well, first of all, going back to being recognized. So with my time on Reality Check, other than other members of Reality Check, the only follower I gained was Jeff Yapunsich. Actually, no, he didn't even follow me. He didn't follow me until Get My Go started. So no, I didn't gain any followers other than people on Reality Check. Joe, you followed me on your own when we got to talking. Maybe you, Mike. Maybe you followed me. I don't know. But yeah, as soon as I started appearing on Get My Go and started plugging my Twitter, and I've got about 450 followers. I don't have a lot of followers, but it's jumped by about 50 or 60 since I've started plugging it on Get My Go. So, and also what I find amazing, this time last year, Mike, I reckon you and I had about 4 or 5 DMs. We barely knew each other. We'd been on a few podcasts together, but we barely knew each other. Now, at this point, 12 months later, we talk practically every day or every other day via DMs. It's so funny, and like getting to know Chad and Jeff Lane and different people that I've got to know through Get My Go. Which this was the promise of Wangland. That was his promise when he brought me on to Reality Check. Yeah, I know all these people, and you're gonna get to work with all these different people, and you did it, John. You did it in the end.
Yeah.
You got me there. You got me to meet all these great people and helpful people. But
there it is. His legacy is this.
Yeah,
that's great. He should embrace it.
Well, Dean, I want to thank you for cultivating. Is that the word? Cultivating? Culling.
Exonerating.
Culling. I think you've
calling.
You've gathered all these clips for us over the last year or so, and I'm glad that we finally got to go through them all. I'm sure you'll find more as you go back in the archives.
I've got more.
Yeah.
I've got.
It's impossible not to.
There's more. There's so much material. It's really amazing. Anything that John says, pretty much you can laugh at it. So
well, just I need to send you that one, Mike, that I sent in DMs earlier. But his latest interview. Well, as we're recording, but anyway, I clicked. I was 2.5 minutes in, and I found a piece of gold that I clipped and sent to you guys. Yeah. That's why I keep saying exonerate on this recording. But yeah, it not just that, but like Joe, how you saying like if someone recognized him from Get My Go, and would he get pissed off about that? What was proven there, like him and Martin, big fucking liberal Democrats, fucking Biden supporters, they had a guest on that said he's been sad ever since Trump was voted out. Yeah. And the two of them just sat there and smiled and nodded, and they no confrontation from him. Not at all.
Who was that? Eric Watts?
No, that was that Chris Swaley, the Masked Saint.
Right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
He's very anti-abortion.
Well, that was worth it for
Great way to finish.
Yeah, that was worth it for a few of those, and I'm gonna go to sleep now. So I'm not even gonna plug anything.
Yeah, I am exhausted. Also, this is probably going to be split into 2, possibly 3 separate bonus shows. So we hope you enjoy them. And again, thank you, Dean. Thank you, Joe. Joe, seems like you fixed your mic problem, so I'm sure everybody will be happy about that.
Finally.
All right, follow that sussy guy. Just put in a word. What is it?
Fucking hell, Mike.
Come on.
How many times have I done it? It's so easy. I'm on Twitter. I'm at that saucy guy. Just imagine that Aussie guy and put an S where the A should be.
Boom.
And at the CC Network 1. At JF Feeney 3RD.
Correct.
Mondays is the Raven Effect and K100 Rehash. And Thursdays is K100. Check out Francine and Eyes Up Here. And
I mean, it's basically like even Dean can recite my script by now pretty much. So, but now do go on and check out at K100 Conan on social media. Trying to build those up.
All right.
That'll do it. Have a good day, gents.
Exonerate yourself.
Exonerate yourself.
You're a wrestling fan, you're going to love the fun things that we're going to be doing right here on Facebook on the Retro Wrestling Revival. So just know you're going to have fun. And if you don't have fun, let us know some stuff you want to hear, because we want to hear what you want to hear too. It's not just about us. So we appreciate everybody out there. We hope you're safe. We hope you're well. And we'll be back next week with a Down for the Count. And then next few days, we're not going to have any live shows out there, but probably on Monday, I'll sprinkle out a little retro month in review for you guys with Mr. Martin on Monday or so. And then next week, Richie and I will be back. And we got some more fun SummerSlam plans, watch along plans, failed federations, Richie. We're going to look at some ruthless aggression. I mean, shit, there's so much that we can cover. We could be talking about this forever. Let's just say we're going to have a lot of fun here, man. So everybody be well. We thank you for your time. For myself and Mr. Richie Reardon, we'll catch you again real soon. Thanks for checking out the Retro Wrestling Revival. Follow the page. Be well, be safe, and take care of yourself.